So with this quote, kind of took me a second to wrap my head around. It just seemed a little complex at first sight, you know. For when the best things are not made possible, the best made. This quote is by Richard Hooker. When the best things are not possible, the best may be made of those that are. When the best things are not possible, the best may be made of those that are. Out of it, right? So probably butchered it a little bit, but kind of like just how I kind of grasp it is like sometimes, the best things are not possible. Sometimes you're not able to get those things that are the best, those nice cars, whatever it is that you consider best things, right? So sometimes may not even be able to get that, blessing, right? You may not be able to get that blessing. So if that's the case, you got to make the best of what you got, right? Of the things that are possible, make the best of it. I think that's what this quote is kind of talking about a little bit. Is like, man, sometimes we ain't dealt the best hand, right? But we got to make the best of what we got, right? Sometimes life is just going to give us some crazy situations. And you know what? If that's the case, we just going to have to make the best of what we got, right? But God, provides and everything. Even if we may not have the best opportunities, we could definitely make the best of it. See, if we go in this with this mindset that we need the best things, we need the best circumstance, the best this, the best that, it may not be possible. Sometimes we're going to get dealt with a hand that's is going to seem impossible for you to try to overcome, to win, to succeed. But you know what? It's possible though. But you can make the best of what you have, right? You can make the best of what you have and know what? Turn it into something beautiful. Turn it into something triumphant. Turn it into something incredible. See, and I think that's what this quote is kind of talking about. It's saying, you know what? Sometimes the best things ain't possible. But you know what? The things that you do have, the abilities you do have, the opportunities you do have, you can make the best of, though, right? So I think that's what this quote is really talking about. Is really just saying, hey, you know what? With whatever you got, you can make it happen. Do something today that even you can't believe that you did it. Man, that's a powerful quote. That's a powerful quote. Who here really believes that they could do something like that, right? Who here believes that they could do something? Quote by Oprah Winfrey: devote today to something so daring, even you can't believe you're doing it. Devote today to something so daring, even you can't believe you're doing it. So incredible like that. Do something so daring that you can't believe that you did it. Come on. Man, how many times are we challenging ourselves to do something so incredible, so amazing, right? Because I guarantee you, a lot of us, we ain't challenging ourselves like that. We ain't challenging ourselves in that way. We're living too comfortably. We're just doing our thing. But know what? I'm telling you right now. If you do something so daring today that you can't believe that you did it, man, imagine the accomplishment and the feeling that you would have when you did do it. Come on now. See, that's the thing. Like a lot of us, we ain't ready for that conversation. A lot of us, we ain't ready for that. We ain't ready to do something so daring that we never thought we would do. We ain't there yet. We're too comfortable in our bubble. We're too comfortable just living life the way that we want to live life. And that's the crazy part. Because you know what? If we would actually do things in that way, if we would actually do things and be like, know what? Man, I did that. I did something so amazing. So amazing. I don't even believe I did that. Bro, come on. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that you would be like, know what? Man, who would have thought I would do that? Who would have thought that I could have done that? Who? Come on. Like, for so long, I lived so comfortably, right? I'm now in a place where, I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. I'm trying to do things just a little bit different. And believe me, it's hard at times. It's very hard at times. And sometimes I just want to give up. Sometimes I don't even want to do it. But know what? Stepping out of my comfort zone, stepping into this different feeling to be like, know what? I could do it. And then be like, man, I did that. What? I did that. Oh, bro. Come on. Hopefully this quote can be motivating you. This one gonna hit you hard. This one's gonna hit you hard. You don't know what you're capable of until you are tested. Until you are tested. Elizabeth Blackwell. None of us can know what we are capable of until we are tested. None of us know what we are capable of until we are tested. Come on. You don't know what you're capable of. This one's going to hit you hard, and I promise you it's going to hit you hard. Because you know what? You ain't ready for that conversation, right? Some of us, we ain't put ourselves in that position to be tested. We don't know what we're capable of. We really don't. We don't know if we would fold under pressure. We don't know if we would overcome and triumph. We don't know how we would handle a situation. We don't know how we would handle if they said no. If they just like, whatever it is, right? We don't know. See, and that's the crazy thing is, if we ain't putting ourselves out there, if we are not going for these challenges, if we are not stepping out of our comfort zone and we are not being tested, we will never know what we're capable of, right? Because when you hear these stories of these incredible, like extraordinary outcomes and stuff like that, and you're like, man, how did they do it? How did they overcome that? And you're like, man, I don't understand it whatsoever. But the thing is, it's because they were tested in extreme circumstances and extreme challenges. And when that happened, they were able to know what they're capable of. They were able to pull out something that they thought they would never be able to pull out. And know what? Man, that should be motivating. That should motivate us. That should be like, know what? If they could do that, I could do that. Come on now. Come on now. What are you capable of? What have you put yourself in so you could be tested, so you could see what you are capable of? Friends are God's way of taking care of us. Friends are God's way of taking care of us. By Anonymous. Friends are God's way of taking care of us. Oh, come on, let me say that again. Friends are God's way of taking care of us. Who here is ready to have that conversation? Who here is ready to hear that? Because you know what? Think about it. Who do you have in your life that you could definitely rely on, that you feel like God has put into your life for a reason? And even harder question, if you could think of someone like that, are they in your life still? Are they not in your life still? You push them away. You're a good friend to them. What is the situation you are in? What is the circumstances that you are in right now? See, because if you think about it, friend could still be family. Friend could be whatever it is. It could be your spouse. It could be your child. It could be your parent. It could be your cousin. It could be your actual friend. It could be a coworker. Whatever it is, right? But see, that's the thing. Some of us, we have chose to be alone. We have chose to be a loner, right? We have chose to not associate with nobody because we don't want the hassle. We don't want the extra stress. We don't want this. We don't want that. But the thing is, like this quote says, a friend is God's way of taking care of us, right? He places people in our life for a reason, and he will take certain people out of your life for a reason as well. Sometimes friends are actually just going to be in your life temporarily. Sometimes God's only going to put them there for a season because that's when you need them the most. See, I've had this conversation with my fiance many times. And know what? The reason I know this is because throughout my whole life, throughout high school, know what? My friends had my back. They took care of me. They made sure nobody picked on me, everything like that. And I'm truly grateful for it, right? After high school, most of them, they don't like me, right? Most of them, they could give whatever about me. They don't like me. They hate me. They want me dead. Whatever the reason is, that's fine. I ain't got no animosity towards you, right? But then there's still some that still kind of reach out every once in a while, and I'm grateful for those ones, right? I'm grateful for those ones. Even if I may not talk to them every single day, I'm grateful for them, right? And throughout my life, I've made friends. You know, God's placed certain people in my life. He's taken certain people out, placed new ones in, put people back in my life, whatever it is. It's all part of God's plan. He's taking care of me in ways that I don't even know, right? Now I'm at a point in my life where my friends are these other entrepreneurs, these other people that are just motivating, right? Whatever it is. And I'm like, thank you, God. You know, and then he brought my fiance into my life. Biggest blessing ever. Our daughter, biggest blessing ever. Her family, biggest blessing ever. Everything that I have in my life right now is a big blessing, and I know that God put them all in my life for a reason. For a reason. So know what? Think about it like this. A friend is definitely God's way of taking care of you, and I hope that you see it that way. I don't know if y'all are ready for this one. This one seems like it might just hit you a little hard. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Come on, y'all. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. This is where I want to say a lot of us, we have so many issues with. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Oh, I need to repeat this one. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Right? We have so many issues with this because we don't know how to handle defeat. We don't know how to handle loss. We don't know how to handle failure. We get faced with these situations, with these circumstances, and we think that little single defeat is the end all be all. We put it in our mind that it's over. We're done. We cannot do anything more. We can't do anything more. Man, think about that. Think about that. We go through life and we get one single defeat and we think it's done. We think we're gonzo. We give up. We do not have no more fight left. We don't put no more fight in it. We just continue to let ourselves be defeated. And we let that be a prolonged thing. We let that be an everlasting thing. We let that drag us down for so many years. We let that handle, that we let that stress us out, dictate to us what we can do and what we can't do. We let that defeat us spiritually, physically, mentally, every single thing, right? We let it defeat us. Why? Because you know what? We let that one single defeat, and in our mind, that's the final defeat. That's the end all be all, right? In video game terms, right? That's like you facing the first boss in the game. You lose, you die, and you're like, no, what? I'm done. I can't continue no more. It's like, come on, that's only a small little defeat, right? That's only a small little defeat. There's so many other victories to be had, right? And know what? Let me take it a little bit back. You ever play those type of video games, or where the first boss you automatically lose? Like, that's just how the game is made. You cannot beat them, right? If they just ended the game there, it's like, what the heck? Y'all programmed this for me to lose, and now the game's over. No, they do it because you know what? There's so many other victories ahead for you, right? But if you just gave up on that first boss, that there's no way that you're gonna win because you ain't got the abilities or skills or anything to be able to defeat them right away, then you're defeating the whole purpose of you being here, being on this journey and grinding till you get where you need to be, right? We cannot just give up on the first defeat. We need to understand that we got to fight and fight and fight until we keep getting more victories. We're going to get so many defeats, but we're going to get victories along the way as well. That first defeat is not the final defeat, so why would you let that creep into your mind? Come on now. See, this is why I ended it with this quote, is because you know what? We are not going to let this be the end all, be all to our journey in life. That defeat that you just had, that defeat you had a little while back, that defeat that's still creeping in your mind. Just know that the next battle you have, whether it's a defeat or a victory, that is not your final battle. There's going to be so many more. And you are going to succeed, my friend. You are going to succeed, and I promise you that. But you got to be perseverant. You got to keep getting up every time they knock you down. So I hope that this motivational podcast, this episode, motivated you in some type of way, because you know what? I understand. A lot of us feel defeated. We get defeated on that single defeat. But know what? I know that we can overcome that. It's not the final one. It's not the final one. And without further ado, I'm going to have to bid y'all adieu. If you ain't subscribed to the YouTube channel or following this podcast on Spotify or anything like that, do so, and do it right now too. And until next time, salute.